Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 3 of the iStaging platform course, Becoming an iStaging Expert. My name is Stefan, and I'm here today, as usual, with my colleague Andrea, who you can speak with on the right-hand side of your screen via the chat. You can ask her any questions today throughout the training session, and she'll be able to answer them. But don't worry if you don't get an immediate answer. We'll also have some time for a live Q&A at the end of today's talk. Nice to see everyone again. If you've joined us in one of our previous sessions, by the way, let Andrea know if you can hear me okay and if you can see me okay, which is actually very important for today's training session. As I said, this is session 3 of the 6-part iStaging training course. We've already done session 1 and 2 in the last 2 weeks, where we talked about how to create or start building a virtual experience, a 360 virtual experience. We talked about hotspots, branding, floor plans, and then last week we talked about advanced visualization tags, stuff like the web tag, multi-tag, sticker. And those are great for displaying different things within your virtual experience. And in today's session, we're going to be talking about different communication tools, and there are 3 things on the agenda. Number 1 is our calendar functionality. Number 2 is touring, our virtual guided tour system. And number 3 is our conference tool, or and ways to basically connect conference software within your virtual experience. If you join all the sessions, then you get the opportunity to become an iStaging expert, obviously, and earn an iStaging certificate and badge. There are various benefits to that. I've mentioned some of those in the previous sessions, and I'll talk a little bit about that later on today. So I think everyone can hear me okay, so that I think we're ready to get started. I'm going to be sharing my screen again for the majority of today's webinar. And let's dive right in. All right, so give me a second, and I will start sharing my screen. All right, I think you guys should be able to see my screen right now. So if you have joined some of our previous sessions, then you should have received your iStaging trial account, business subscription with all of iStaging's functionalities that you can use throughout the 6 sessions until the end of the year, which you will need to ultimately submit a virtual experience that can earn you your certificate. This is the first time that you're joining us today, then you will receive your trial account within the next 24 hours. And with your account, once you have your username and password, you can go to iStaging.com, go to the top right corner, click on VR Maker, and log in there, and then you'll see the screen that you're seeing right now, which is the VR editor. Now, in today's talk, I'm going to be mainly talking about the conference tab over here. So we're going to click on that. And you'll see the 3 things that I want to discuss in today's training: calendar, touring, and webinar. Now, the calendar functionality is pretty simple. You will enable or allow your virtual visitors, whatever virtual experience you are creating, to book a meeting with you directly from within the experience. And the way that this works, I'm going to show you, it's actually pretty straightforward. So once you click on conference, the conference tab, calendar is automatically selected. And basically, all you need to do is click on visitor booking, enabling that calendar. So by toggling that little button, and then you'll see that the calendar sort of opens up automatically. And you can first start, okay, I want the calendar to be from, let's say, 8 o'clock in the morning until 6. That is the time that I'm going to be available. And then I can specifically indicate the times at which visitors will be able to book a meeting with you. So now the way that you do that is simply drag and drop essentially, or sort of drag it all the way here. So anything that is green is basically a time slot that people can book a meeting with you. And if I then say, okay, you know what, at 12 o'clock I would like to have lunch, so 12 o'clock I don't want to do, I'm not available for meetings. And then all you need to do is click save. As I mentioned this before in our previous sessions, whenever you make any changes, whether it's, like, for example, in the calendar functionality or in the marker editor that we talked about last week, you'll make sure that you click save every single time that all of your changes are actually saved. So to To see what, to preview your virtual experience, you're going to click on View, and then it opens up your link. So we'll give that a couple seconds. Now, the virtual experience that I'm showcasing here right now is, in fact, a property with my screen should be all okay. All right, let's continue. Yes. So actually, what I was introducing about the calendar in the VR editor, I was basically demonstrating, how you can turn on the calendar functionality in your virtual experience, and then by choosing different time slots for visitors to book a meeting with you. And then when I clicked on View, I showed you the actual experience here that I'm using. That the calendar functionality actually shows up in the bottom right corner, where a visitor can actually book a meeting. Now, in between, I was saying that in this case, I'm using a property that is captured, right, which I also used in session one. But some of you iStaging veterans know by now, that it can be any type of space, right? Any physical space, an automotive showroom, a retail store, a hotel, a property like this. But it could also be completely 3D rendered. For a virtual exhibition or a hybrid event or a virtual showroom, for example, in the medical industry, the functionalities today are useful for all industries that we're talking about. Now, the good news is that the calendar functionality is pretty straightforward. It's similar to what another calendar functionality would look like. So it's you basically select the time as I showed you, and then enter your information, and now it tells me that my booking is successful. All right, for the visitor, and that automatically sends a confirmation to me. All right, the visitor, and also the host or the owner of the virtual tour or virtual experience. So, all right, now I'll go out of here and go back to the editor. So besides receiving an email, the host, so the owner of the virtual experience, the owner of the iStaging account, can then go back into the editor, and then instead of here under calendar, go to availability, we can go to bookings, where we can then see, here we go, where we can then see the bookings. All right, so you can see now that there is a booking over here. All right, let me see. Here that after someone has booked a meeting in your virtual experience, it automatically sends a confirmation email to both the owner of the virtual experience of the iStaging account and the person that booked the meeting. And then in the editor under bookings, you'll be able to see and then confirm a meeting. All right. So with that particular visitor. Now, you can then obviously connect in any way that you would like. All right, so you can use Zoom or Teams or just a phone call, whatever it is that you would prefer. But you can also use our virtual guided tour system, which is called Touring. And this enables you to actually guide someone within the virtual experience. And if you have a trial account, you guys are able to try this yourself. Now, in touring, within our software, there are basically two ways of starting a touring call. Now, number one is a call that is hosted by the owner of the iStaging account. So the iStaging account owner is the one that starts the call. And to do that, you'll have to go to touring. So under the conference tab, you'll go to touring, and then you will see the remaining number of hours or minutes that you've got. And you can then activate a touring room. So when I click on this, I won't do that now because then it might mess up the audio. But when you activate a touring, it will open up that virtual room. Then you can copy paste the link to anyone who you would like to basically invite, all right, or want to allow to join the call. And by simply, when the visitor simply clicks on that link, they can join the call. Now, I'll quickly show you a video of what that looks like. All right. Just one sec. All right. So as I'll go a little bit further back here. So here you can click on activate touring. It opens the touring, and then automatically the host will show up in the bottom right corner. All right, and in this particular case, it's me. And on the
Really?
oh, sorry, guys, I would appreciate it if you could mute your audio for the duration of the talk, so that at the end, if you want to ask a question, that's okay. But for now, that'd be really appreciated. On the left side, you will see all of the visitors, right? That are there, and you can see each other. You can talk to each other. And the beauty of touring is, and that's what's different about the touring functionality, that the host is basically controlling the screen. So wherever the host is moving, or whatever the host is clicking on, automatically that also moves the screen on the visitor side, or whatever they see automatically will also show up there. So if they click on a video or a tag, for example, and guide them through. Now, in touring, you can have up to 10 people, all right? 10 people at the same time in a touring call. One thing that is obviously important to mention is that you will need a decent, a strong internet connection, all right? A stable internet connection on both sides, right? Which goes for, you know, any software that you would use, but obviously here, because you're sharing your screen as well, and it's synced, this is an important thing to keep in mind. All right, so this is the first way. All right, now the second way of using touring is actually a call that is started by the visitor. All right, so when they're online and they're visiting your showroom or your virtual experience or your store or your property that you have online, they can actually start a touring call. All right. And the first thing that you need to do is go to the basic information tab. All right. Scroll down to custom options and click on the guided tour button. That will make sure that it allows the visitor to actually call you directly. All right. So we want to click on save. Very good. And the second thing is that you will need the touring app on your phone. Okay, so go to the App Store or the Google Play Store and download the touring app, and then you can log in with the same account details as your iStaging account. All right, you don't really need to do anything with the app, but the app basically allows you to receive the phone call. That's the way that this would work, because when you answer the call, it automatically opens the virtual tour, and you're basically synced in the same way that I just showed you in the video. But now you're using your smartphone. And the difference is that in the first version that I just showed you, it's the host, right, that starts the call. And in this case, it would be the visitor. So just to show you, I'll go here. One thing that is important to mention, we recommend that you only use this if you with iPhone or iOS devices. This is important to mention. It might, it's also compatible with various Android devices, but there are too many of them to say that it's 100% compatible. So we would only recommend to say, okay, if you want to do it this way, make sure that you use an iPhone, an Apple device that is simply more stable. So now that I actually turned on that touring button in the basic information tab, you can see it here at the bottom, right? Guided tour. And when people click on that, they can start that call, and the phone will start ringing. Now I will ask, just in a second. Now I will ask Andrea, who is in a different location than me at this very moment. I will ask her to actually click or call me so that I can show you guys, and I'll just stop sharing for a second. So I can actually show you guys that my phone is ringing, and she's already doing it. And you can see that Andrea is calling me from this particular virtual experience. So I can see what the name of that virtual tour is. And if I then accept, it will automatically open that live tour, and the guided tour can basically start. But again, I can only receive the phone call if I have the touring app on my phone. So that is important, and you have to have touring minutes in your account as well. Now you can actually try this out yourself simply by going into your trial account. There are touring minutes there that you can use. All right. Now I was just checking. Yeah. I won't. All right. Okay. So here we go. Very good. So that's basically how touring works. Now I'll go back to the VR editor, right? I can imagine that maybe this is a little bit confusing, the two different ways, right? The first way is going into conference. The other way is basic information, selecting the guided tour button here. Okay, good. Now the third thing that I want to talk about today is the conference tool, which is basically an alternative to Zoom or Teams that we've also got within our software, within our platform. And we go back to conference, the conference tab, click on webinar, and we can create a new webinar here. So I'll just go session 3, host, that's me. And again, also for the conference, you're gonna need certain hours or minutes in your account. And again, if I click on webinar here, you can see the remaining time that I've got that you've got in your account. All right, so that's important. Obviously, now I have 2 hours and 10 minutes. I cannot schedule a conference that lasts longer than that. All right, so that's pretty straightforward. Choose a starting time. All right, let's say tomorrow at 2. Okay, very good. Duration 1 hour. Actually, no, we'll do that. We'll do 30 minutes. Here we go. And then you can basically copy paste a list of attendees that you want to invite. All right. It's literally just, you know, if you have an Excel sheet, for example, you can just copy paste all of the attendees in here right away. Now I'll just invite myself. All right. Very good. Like that. And then you can schedule your webinar or your conference. It will automatically send a confirmation to all of the attendees. Okay. Now you can have in the conference up to 2,000 visitors at the same time. So a lot of people. All right. 1 second, guys, just making sure that you can all still hear and see me. All right. Very good. And now I have my scheduled conference or webinar here that you can see. Okay, status is pending. Now, obviously, I want to somehow connect this conference to my virtual experience, right? Because essentially, this is just a link with Zoom or with Microsoft Teams, all right? This is the same way. And if you joined last week's session, then you might have an idea. We're going to use the web tag for that. All right. So here, I'm going to click on copy. All right. There are 2 ways, or basically 4 things you can do. I can either start the conference, edit it, delete it, or copy the link. Now I've copied the link already. And now I want to go to marker editor, which is where we can edit our virtual experience. Oh, actually, I should have gone to a different experience here, but it's all right. Okay. And then we go to web tag, because in a web tag, we can basically embed a URL, so a URL link, all right? So click on web tag here, and I have a customized icon. I'll put it here in the middle. Okay, a live webinar that you can join. Very good. A title, live, we add live webinar. Now, I won't go into the details of the web tag today, all of the size and the opacity and the tag fitting. That's been discussed in session 2. If you missed that, you can go to YouTube and watch session 2 over there. All right. And now here, I copy paste the link, all right, of the conference. All right. Now, you can iframe it or new window, but in the case of a conference, because it's basically already showcasing with the background of your virtual experience, we would recommend that you open it in a new window. So don't iframe the conference, okay? That's an important point. The size we can keep the same. Okay, very good. And now we have set up a conference under the conference tab and then embedded it or basically, yeah, put it into our virtual experience, all right? Pretty straightforward if you know how it works. And well, any visitor right now, if they go to the experience here, they click on it, but it hasn't started yet, it will indicate, okay, this conference hasn't started yet, come back later. And the host, at the time that they want to start the conference, they just simply click on start, and that's when the conference starts. Now I'll go and quickly show you a video so to indicate to you guys what that basically looks like with our conference tool. All right, so we'll go a little bit further here. Very good. you can see that the conference, the background is basically the background of your virtual experience. And there are different things that you can do within the conference. You can obviously manage the audio, the video, you can share your screen, you can chat directly with all of the attendees. You can chat send a message directly to one person or to all of them at the same time. All right, you can see that you can share your screen, talk to everyone. You can also make audience members presenters, which is very useful if you have, co-hosts, for example. You can make them presenters, and then they have the same functionalities on their screen. Here you can see that I'm inviting someone to co-host with me. And here you've got, also an example of embedding that conference within a conference link within your virtual experience. So pretty straightforward. And then for the visitor here, they will have to enter their name, company, and email, and then they automatically are sent to the conference once it's started. If it hasn't started yet, then obviously that message will pop up that it hasn't started yet and that you can come back later. All right. So it's basically an alternative to Zoom. Now, I talked to you guys, I'll go here, about actually the possibility last week also to use Zoom or Teams, because we had tons of customers that are also using those and are more familiar with that. Totally fine. It basically works the exact same way. So if I use Zoom, you set up your Zoom link and you can use the web tag to basically embed your Zoom in the virtual experience. All right, and Teams or any other conference software for that matter, just use the web tag to do so. Pretty simple. Okay, very good. Now I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So the calendar, touring, and the conference, all of those functionalities are in the trial account that you've got, all right? And one of those, specifically the calendar functionality, you need to know in detail because that will be required to actually get your iStaging certificate. Now, usually, if you joined session 1 and 2, we would do a quick quiz, but because we've switched from the switch software to Zoom right now, I can't do that at the moment. So I think we can go directly to the live Q&A. Now, I do want to mention that for you guys, because usually I do it during the quiz, sort of the benefits of getting your iStaging certificate and iStaging badge. All right, now, the requirements are actually already available. So you should have received an email with a page where all of the requirements are there to get your certificate, what you need to do. If you have any questions about that, if you didn't receive it, just let us know. We can send it to you again. And that particular page, if you don't have a trial account, you can also request it there. Now the benefits, there are basically four main benefits. The first one is obviously it makes you an iStaging expert, right? If you get the certificate, it will automatically, if you get the certificate, you will know everything there is to know about iStaging, all of the features, which is fantastic, right? That's the whole point of that we're doing this. But there are 3 other things that you also get. You will get, as an iStaging expert, get exclusive and early access, well, more early access to new features and new functionalities when they're in beta stages or when we're just about to launch. You'll be able to test those out in your account first, all right? That's number 1. Number 2, there are certain business opportunities, all right, that are connected to it. So in case we have people that reach out to us and that need the creation of a virtual showroom, or they are looking for a photographer, to capture a virtual space, whether it's a property or a showroom, a physical showroom, that's possible. And then if you are an iStaging expert, we know that you know how to use the software properly, and you're one of the first that we would call. This is not our main business, but it does happen sometimes, so there is value in getting the certificate there. And the last one is you get access to really special offers, all right? One of those will happen towards the end of this 6-part session. So if you get your certificate, you will get extremely affordable and really, really good offers to take advantage of all of the functionalities of iStaging and everything that we basically have to offer. All right, so these are all of the benefits that you would get, and obviously, you know, with the certificate and badge, and you'll be able to use them online as well and put them on your website if you want to. So yes, that was in short. Let me just go to the questions here. I'll just go to the chat and see if there were any questions. I see there was Daniel had some volume issues. Charlie, okay, to clarify, you need the touring app to admin the tours. It depends. If you want to allow people, you allow visitors to call you, all right? So the visitor calls you, then you need the touring app, okay? You can also start a touring call yourself, all right? By going into the VR editor, under the conference tab, you click on under the touring, you can start one, and then you don't necessarily need the tour, or you don't need the touring app, because you can just share the link to the attendees. Okay, so, but if you want the visitor to be able to call you, then you need the touring app on your phone. But within the touring app, you know, there's nothing special there. It just allows you to receive the phone call, as I showed you just now, a couple minutes ago. I hope that answers your question. All right, so there are two different ways. I know it might be a little bit confusing, but once you go into the editor, you'll figure this out. Okay, I think Asia also answered your question there. Charlie, can you include the Meta Maker? Good question. The Meta Maker is one of our our newest platform, basically. You know, and there are actually, you can try it out yourself. Go to the website and click on Meta Maker. You'll be able to sign up for a trial account yourself right now and test it out. If you are interested, if you would like more information, feel free to reach out to us directly, and we can share more information about how it works and what it does. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, in the new year we will be doing various webinars, also focused on the MetaMaker and how that works. All right. So I hope that answers your question. Very good. Now, are there any other questions, guys, that I can answer for you? All right, Andrew is saying, feel free to ask any questions. Again, I sincerely apologize for the technical issue that we're experiencing today. I'm not really sure what happened exactly. I will check what, you know, for sure we can use the recording once we move to Zoom. I'm not really sure what was recorded when we were in our previous webinar software. Maybe we can combine it together, and then we'll make it available on YouTube for you guys. If you have any questions, all right, that I didn't cover yet, or things that are unclear today, then just reach out to us directly. Don't worry. But the good news is that, you know, the main thing that you're going to need for your certificate is the calendar functionality, and it's pretty straightforward. It's probably one of the easiest things that you can use within our platform. All right. We also have tutorial videos to help you get started. Now, if there are no further questions, then I want to thank you all very, very much for joining us today. I want to thank you for your flexibility. Hopefully, Charlie saying, can you share your contacts? You can actually, Charlie, you can just go to, if you go to iStaging.com, and there's a chat directly there. You can chat with us directly. All right, that's probably the easiest way to connect with us there. So don't worry, they will get to either me or Andrea. Yes, thank you so much for your flexibility. I hope that, you know, for the next webinar, the next one, by the way, is not next Tuesday, it's next week on Thursday. That will be session 4, all right, of the training course. So next Thursday, you will receive confirmation of your registration for that within the next few days. And yeah, so next week on Thursday, so we're not going to be seeing each other for about a week and a half, something like that. Andrea is saying hello at iStaging.com. You can also reach us there directly. So in a week and a half, we'll do session 4, where we're going to talk about some really cool stuff related to analytics that we've got. So I would highly recommend that you join that one as well. Really, really interesting information and data that you can get from your virtual experience. And then the week after that, which will be the last week, where we have 2 webinars, or the last 2 sessions, session 5 and 6 will be all in 1 week on Tuesday and Thursday. So yeah, that'll be exciting. Anyway, thanks again. Have a wonderful rest of the week. We'll try and make sure that what was recorded today gets uploaded on YouTube, so you can check it out. And if you joined for the first time, I'm sorry about the technical issues, but you can also watch session 1 and 2 on YouTube. All right, thanks a lot. I wish you all a wonderful week, and I hope to see you next week in session 4 of the training course. All right, cheers, bye-bye.